So, your business is a week away from opening. You've chosen a great location right across from a city center. Your grand opening is next week. You've got shelves, a big glass window overlooking the flow of the city, and sound equipment to curate an atmosphere for music lovers. So how do you anticipate a grand opening and keep this momentum going year-round? For starters, you can throw an event for your grand opening. You've placed ads all over town, the internet, and you're not sure how many people will be attending. To bring in storegoers, you could throw a raffle for the attendees and the opportunity for those attendees to win a record player or a signed record, and a local music act will be performing at the venue. You'll not only have to bring in new storegoers, but finding reasons for people to keep coming back. When it comes to events like this, think of the extra cost of things. The electricity bill for your building may be a bit higher than usual because of the extended hours. Customers are going to be for events, but they're not buying any records because they said you don't have any records they're interested in. You can specialize in a specific genre of music, but that hurts business, which is why it's important to have a knowledge of and appeal to more than one genre of music. I was lucky enough to interview Mr. Johann Dell at Soundcheck in Kaiserslautern, Germany. Soundcheck is a local record store about 40 minutes away from where I live. He told me about Discogs.com and how it's been his best friend as a record store owner. Discogs.com is a database and marketplace used by record store owners as a hub for understanding the pricing and overall commerce of the vinyl record industry. It specializes in information about releases, special editions, and most importantly, the music catalogs of artists. Many times, record store goers are looking for a certain release of a record, and certain records are harder to come by. Mr. Dell informed me that Discogs.com has been his best friend since he's been open. He's been open for 27 years. He's also informed me, as a record store owner, many times it'll be beneficial to order online, since some people will be looking for something specific and you'll not have it in your inventory. Discogs details the condition of these records, ranging from mint condition, very good, and so forth. Sure, it's nice to have a record that's rare, but it takes away from the value if the condition isn't that good. And I'm sure your customers won't be happy about it either. The most popular event for independent record store owners worldwide is National Record Store Day. Founded in 2007, it's held one Saturday every April and every Black Friday to celebrate the culture of independent record stores around the world. Because of which, this will include special releases. A lot of record store days usually put emphasis on albums that have had significant cultural impact or have been significant in a genre of music. Going to record stores, I've seen sections dedicated to Record Store Day from years prior. Usually it's right by the checkout counter. Challenges are going to vary for each store. However, the most important thing to take note of is how to keep your business marketable and keep customers coming back. For the next segment, I'll be exploring the unique challenges that has affected every business worldwide. That is, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. I was lucky enough to be able to ask Mr. Dell a few questions about how it's affected his business, and of course, I'll be covering how it affects businesses worldwide. I'm sure we're all well aware of the novel coronavirus and how it's affected life worldwide. In many cases, it's changed the world as we know it. The question is, how has COVID affected record stores in general? For reference, I will be citing a Variety.com article interview with Amoeba co-founder Mark Weinstein. Amoeba Music is one of the longest running record stores in America and one of the most successful. Starting in the Bay Area of California in the 1990s, and is eventually moved to larger locations in Los Angeles. This location specifically is frequented by celebrities and artists. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Amoeba's had an in-store Paul McCartney concert. Because of coronavirus, unemployment in the United States had grown at an alarming rate. Bigger businesses had a lot of layoffs because the amount of money coming in just wasn't the same. This article details Amoeba Music, who was at the time having a GoFundMe campaign in support of their business. due to many of the long months businesses were closed because of the pandemic. Weinstein also stated that this drive was helped to cover the payroll and healthcare benefits afforded to their employees, since many of them were on unemployment, including Weinstein himself. Fortunately, according to Weinstein, mail order business was booming during the pandemic. Recalling to my interview with Mr. Johann Dell, who during the initial closure of things in Germany, he also stated that he was very busy delivering records by mail as well, and it accounted for a lot of his business during the closures. Keeping in mind the fact that physical distancing is key during COVID, when things finally did open, many stores were only allowed one customer at a time. Like many physical goods, records are based on touch. Sifting through rows of records many other people have put their hands on definitely is not the most sanitary thing to think about post-COVID. Keep in mind that some businesses operate on a cash-only transactional basis, so the cost of switching your entire business from cash to card was definitely an adjustment for many businesses to follow. Also, business hours were limited and had to be changed, and many cities had curfews in place. According to the Variety interview with Mr. Weinstein, Amoeba itself was not able to celebrate Record Store Day that year. That is huge when considering the amount of customers Amoeba attracts. And then when you compare that to many smaller record stores that weren't able to do the same. Although we all wish it would go away, as time has passed, we've adjusted to coronavirus and life has a new meaning of normal. The first time I went back to a record store, it had almost been a year, and Germany had been partially opened up. Only a few people were allowed in stores at a time, and many stores in Europe already closed much earlier than in America. However, I was just happy to be back in my sanctuary. The experience definitely was not the same. Knowing people are waiting on you outside definitely puts a different kind of haste when you're looking at records. And the experience is much different when you can't look over to your friend and get excited about the record you just found. But I feel it's important more than ever to support these smaller businesses as much as we can. I did make a mistake earlier in my presentation. Mr. Dell's business has been around for 24 years, not 27. And although many businesses have had to unfortunately close, I cannot express how wonderful he is to his customers. And I would hate to see so many businesses with so much history close because of the coronavirus. So, we've covered the appeal of record stores, what to expect as a business owner, the unique challenges record store owners face, and how COVID has changed record stores. Through this project, I've learned that opening a record store is a lot more complicated than I thought it was. Given the current climate, quite discouraging. However, I think after everything I've learned, and even my interview with Mr. Dell, I'm inspired more than ever despite the odds. I think record stores will be around for a long time, just because they've got so many people that love them. They are a staple of musicians and music lovers alike. And no matter what part of the world I'm in, I know I can bond and connect with people in record stores. And I think that says a lot. I hope you learned a thing or two about record stores, and I hope it inspires you to check them out if you haven't been to one. My name is Isaac, and thank you for tuning into my presentation.